Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel. I know it's been a while since I posted. I had a couple issues going on, but we finally got those resolved and I am so happy to be back to making videos. Today's video is going to be a special one. We are doing a brand new build. I'm going to be working on my little Able Sisters area. I've already went and terraformed the areas that I'm going to be doing. So all we have to do is decorate it and make it all pretty. And also, before we begin, if you're new here, please make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. It would mean the absolute world to me. I am so happy to have all of these new faces here. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. Starting out on this build, I'm going to go and lay my pathing down. I usually like to start with my pathing just so I can kind of figure out exactly where I want the walkway area to be. I kind of struggled just a second by the Able Sisters because I thought maybe I wanted to use some of the white board planks that I use a lot, but I ended up not liking how that looked, so I decided to just keep with the dirt pathing, which you'll see in just a minute. I did go ahead and terraform out this area. I had this nice little river, and the area above is going to be in another video. I'm going to be doing a cute little butterfly garden, and I'm going to have one of my villagers' houses up there, and I think it's going to be super cute. But today I decided to start out with my Able Sisters and get this bottom area worked out and fixed the way that I wanted it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up this pathing, and we'll get into the next part of my decorating step, which is putting down the cobblestone on top of this pathing. I love that. I feel like that look just looks so great on this island, and I love it so much. So now that we have this dirt down, we're going to go back over top of it with the cobblestone pathing. I would have to say that my favorite part of doing my pathing is laying this cobblestone on top of it. For some reason, it just gives such a more, I don't know, intriguing look, I guess. I'm not really sure. I just know that it adds so much to the regular pathing, and it makes it look not as plain, not as boring, and I definitely could not imagine doing my islands any other way now. Before, I never knew to lay pathing on top of the in-game path, but ever since I've started, I definitely could not stop. It just adds so much more and makes it look so much more beautiful than it would without it. If you've never done this before, I highly suggest you do it. It adds so much to your island and it makes it look so beautiful. You definitely will not be disappointed. The next thing that I'm going to do is continue off on my little separation that goes around my resident services. I'm going to put down these two bushes, and I'm also going to be adding the stone fencing and adding some flowers in between. As you can see, I had to run around and make sure how it looked because I wanted it to all match around my resident services. I think that this looks super cute when you separate the stone with flowers in between. For whatever reason, the look that it gives is just so cute in my opinion, and I love it. Something else that I'm going to have to do that I did not notice until I started running around was that I added some of those white board planks at the very start of my pathing, and I did not do that here. So I do need to go back in and do that. I'm going to fix out these flowers and change them, and I'm going to go ahead and start on that because I wanted it to match on all three sides of my resident services. Each side that you go on, whether it's the left or the right or the bottom, starts into a new pathing, and I included it, and for whatever reason I seemed to have forgotten that. So I'm going to add that in and then re-add some of the stone on top of my dirt path, and we'll get on into the next portion of the decorating process. I had some of this rope fencing and I really wanted to use it, so the only spot that I found that I could put it in was right here at my resident services before it goes down into my fish market. Then I came up here and I decided to add a tree. I'm using one of the large but not fully grown hardwood trees, so I put that there and I had to stun it in the back with a piece of fruit. Always forget to do that or else your tree will grow to full size and you're not going to be happy. And now I'm just laying down some of this white stage but I'm only using the middle white portion of it because in this area I'm going to be building a little showcase right beside the Able Sisters that displays some of my favorite clothing items. I'm wearing these custom designs. I'm not sure of the creator, but it will be linked in my video description in case you want to wear them. I love these outfits and they're very, very coastal feeling in my opinion. So I want these displayed right outside my Able Sisters because I feel like it goes with the island very well. So I wanted to build a little showcase area. I'm using some of this 𝒏𝒏 garland and I'm also putting, I think this is the ironwood table. I'm putting that there as well because I'm going to put my outfits in front of it and I'm going to put the hat that I'm wearing on the back because these are my staple outfits and I think that they're so cute and I really wanted them to be showcased on this island because they're just beautiful. Now I'm going to be putting that hat down because I forgot to put it at the start and I had to move the 𝒏𝒏 garland. So I'm going to put all of this back in place and then we're going to move on over by the tree because I have a little barrel that I would like to put. I'm going to put that down and on top of that I'm going to put one of the bottled ships. I love how it looks. It really gives the nautical feel. Then I'm going to put down one of these small doilies that I had and I'm going to put a white street lamp on top of it because I felt like I needed one here. And I'm also going to put down one of the small rugs, the little pansy rug, and I'm going to put that down and on top of it I'm going to put down one of the butterfly models that I have. It kind of took me a minute to get it in the right spot because it wouldn't fit, but I ended up having to move the street lamp and put it back just so I could get back in there and push it in place and get it where I wanted it. I think it looks super adorable, such a great way to fill up that area. And the last thing that I'm going to do for this area is put down a piece of that stone fencing and I'm going to add a cute little flower. To fill up the area by the waterfall and my Able Sisters, I'm just going to go in with some cute little flowers. I couldn't really put a tree or anything because they wouldn't fit, so I decided to just go with some flowers. I put those down, and at the end of the flowers I decided to put a cute little garden rock because I really wanted to use that and I think that it fit really great in this space and I love how it turned out. I'm going to go around and place some trees in certain areas that I knew that I wanted to have a tree in. I'm still using the large hardwood trees, but the young version, not the fully grown. I'm going to place those down and stunt them all in the back with a piece of fruit. And I just felt like I needed to go ahead and map out exactly where I needed my trees to go so I didn't have to worry about it later. Then I'm going to go over and put some flowers and some more of that stone fencing just to break apart the pathway so that way you kind of know to stay on the path and not fray away. So I decided to put that at the start, and then I'm going to put a diagonal rug. I'm going to use the white lacy one. I'm going to put that beside this tree, and I'm also going to place the small doily at the tree as well where I used the white street lamp at. And I'm going to go ahead and place this down because I have a cute little idea that I would like to use right here at this tree, and I feel like these are going to go very well in this space to fill it up. I went ahead and I placed down one of the damselfly models because this little area I wanted to turn into a little reading nook. So I had to grab one of my Zen cushions that I had that I customized with one of the custom codes that I have, and I placed that down, and then I had a little book and I placed the book right down beside of it because I wanted it to be like a little area where you would come and sit and maybe read your book and relax. I think that it looks super cute here. I love how this little area turned out. So cute when you sit down and look up at it. Then I'm going to go over and put another tree over here because I forgot to do that earlier, so I went ahead and put my little tree here. It kind of matches up on the other side where the other tree is, but for some reason I couldn't get back there and put a piece of fruit behind it. So if this tree ends up growing to full size, that's okay. It doesn't really matter that much. I think that it looks super cute nonetheless, especially the way that it lines up. Behind it, I put one of the turkey garden stands, and I'm also going to put a record player on top. By the other tree at the end of the water, I put a little duck, and I also customized a cute little hammock that I'm going to be putting in front of it. I think that having a hammock at the end of this water here makes it look super adorable just because it's kind of like you're relaxing at the end of the water. And after I placed this hammock down, I did lay in it and I opened up my camera because I wanted to make sure that whenever I took pictures that I would be able to see the waterfall from behind. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I just wanted to make sure that I could see it, and I definitely can, and I think that it looks super adorable, and I'm so happy that I did that. The last thing that I'm going to do is come over beside the record player, and I'm going to put down a mountain bike. I have a scooter on the other side, so on this side I wanted to use a mountain bike, so that's what I did. I needed some sort of separation from my fish market up to the new area to my able sisters, so I decided that I would just go in with the same stone fencing and flower thing that I've been doing around my resident services and pretty much everywhere on my entire island. I feel like it's a good way to separate spaces, and I think that it's super cute. So I went ahead and put some of that down, and then I decided that in this area right here that I was going to put down a doily rug. I was going to use the pansy one that I have, and I'm going to put on top of it one of the iron benches, and I'm also going to be putting some little, what are they called? The garden lights or the garden lanterns. I'm going to put those right beside it on each side just to give some sort of little lighting. Maybe at night you want to come out here and sit and look out at the fish market and that kind of thing. So I decided to put that there, and I think that it turned out super cute. At this spot, I'm going to be putting some of the white board plank that I've been using because I'm going to be building a little hat market or a shoe market, something outside of the Able Sisters to sell different types of stuff. So I'm going to be putting some more of that stone and flower separation here before I start building the actual area. Now I'm going to start building the stage area. I kind of did this the long way, and I should have just opened up my island designer and laid it down instead of using my phone for each piece. But nonetheless, we got it down. It just took a while. And I think that this area, I was initially going to do like some hats and shoes and maybe some clothes, but I think I've just decided on only doing hats and a couple pairs of shoes. Maybe this could be like a little hat market or something. I feel like some of the hats in the game are so cute, and there's two hats in particular that I am obsessed with. So I kind of felt like I wanted to create an area outside of the Able Sisters to sell those specific hats, especially because I feel like they really go with my island theme very well. So I think that it was just a great idea to build something like this, and I'm so happy with how it turned out. After I get all of these down, you'll see that I did end up going in with some of the rope fencing because I didn't know how I wanted to separate off this area, but I decided that after putting it down that I did not like how it looked, so I did end up taking that up. It just did not give off the look that I was hoping for. So it's okay, we live and we learn, we put things down, we take them back up. So I just decided not to do it. I did end up going on the other side of the tree by my resident services, and I put down one of the large blue doily rug things that I had, and I wanted to put a iron table and chair here just to have a little area to sit, and I was gonna put some sort of snack on the table so you can maybe sit here and enjoy a snack, listen to some music, something along those lines. I think that it was super, super cute. I love the white that comes in the iron set. I think that it looks so elegant and so nice. Definitely a great piece of furniture to use on your island if you've never used it before. Highly recommend because I think it turned out so cute and so amazing. And then the last thing that I did was I came on the side of the tree, and I also put a flower here because I felt like it was missing something, so I went with a flower. When it came to decorating this space, I wanted to use more of the 𝒐𝒏 garlands. I wanted to kind of match the vibe that I did from the side of the Able Sisters where my clothes are. So I decided to go in with those, but I decided to use some of the white den desks and turn them around backwards and place them in front of it. I wanted these to act as my little display shelves, and I also put one in the middle because I wanted that to kind of be like the little little checkout area maybe, or maybe a sewing area where maybe Sable comes outside and she sews sometimes, something like that. So I decided to put 3 of them, and I also had this cute little stool that I put there because I felt like it matched the vibe really well. And then I had 2 of the ironwood low tables, and I put those on each side because I also wanted to use those as some display shelves as well. I had this cute little blue telephone, and I'm gonna put this on top of the middle desk, and I guess I could act as like a little phone. Maybe you're taking some phone calls outside. And I also put down one of the blue typewriters that I had because initially I thought I was gonna use this as like a checkout desk, but I decided that I really did not like how it looked, so I ended up taking that up, and I think I'm gonna come back in later with a sewing machine and kind of make this little area for Sable to come outside and sew. And I also put another one of the iron garden benches on this side, and I had this nuptial bell, and the area that I put it in, I did not end up keeping it here. You'll see later that I changed it, but I love how it looked and I still wanted to keep it and use it. So I did end up changing it, and I also put some of these moon cakes over on this garden table, and I had another one of those benches and I put it on the other side because I still wanted some sort of separation. So I just used the benches and some flowers, and I really like how this looks, except I will be changing the space that I put the nuptial bell in. It was just very inconvenient to try and walk around with it. But for what I've done mostly right now, I love how it looked, and I think most of it is beautiful. I really think that these flowers and things really tie in with my island super well, and I love that Bam is sitting at the little table. Such a cute villager. I love him so much. And the last thing that I did here before I ended up moving the nuptial bell is I had this flower stand and I couldn't find a spot to put it, so I just decided to go over by the tree and put it in front of the little table, and for now it worked pretty well. I might change it later, but I don't know, I really like how it looks, so it might have to stay here. Down here, I needed more of that separation, so I'm going to use some of the stone fencing and some flowers just to go in and fill that in because I did not want to leave it open like that. So here I am just putting some more of those here. I swear I think that this looks so cute. The idea, I don't know, it just looks so good to me. I love it. Such a cute way to separate spaces. If you've never done it, I recommend it. Now I'm gonna go and move that nuptial bell. I decided to put it here because I just needed something to fill up this space, and it's much easier to walk around it here. So I'm just gonna put it here and we'll see. I might change it at some point, but for mostly I like it. At least I don't have to worry about walking around it on the other side, and I think it looks super cute. Over here I felt like I needed something to fill it in, so I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do. I did put one of the beetle models right here, and now I'm just going to go put in my clothes and we will be done with this area. For some reason, the footage of putting out my hats did not record, so I'm just going to do a little walkthrough because the area is officially complete, so you'll see that in just a moment. This area turned out so beautiful for my Able sisters. I love this. I think it looks amazing. Here's the area with all of my hats. I laid out my hats, I did the sewing machine, and I put 2 pairs of shoes. I also had these shell lamps that I wanted to use, and I think that they look beautiful. It'll also look really great at night. I also put out this little shell fountain because I needed something to fill this area, and I think that it looks amazing. So I'm just gonna walk through this area and let you see it. I also put this little table with a diffuser on it. I just think that this area turned out so great. Here's the little reading nook area and the nuptial bell, and here's my little snack area where you can sit and listen to music and have a little snack. I think that this turned out amazing. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. Let me know what your favorite part of this build is. I think that this turned out great. I think that I was able to fill up all of the spaces really well, and I think this is just a great area for my Able sisters. I love how it turned out. It is so adorable, and I just love it. And that is all I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed my Able Sisters build. I had so much fun making this, and I am so happy to be back to making videos. I had so much fun doing this. Let me know in the comments what your favorite part was. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I am so happy to have anybody who is new to my channel. And also, let's get very, very excited because we all know by now that Brewster is coming to Animal Crossing, and I am so excited for that. I'm so excited for the Animal Crossing Direct that is coming this month. So let's all get excited for that. I'm so ready for some new content. And without any further ado, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends!